Gamestetic Game of the Week, episode 200. I'll be doing it. I'm going to ask you boys, all right? So it's episode 200, big episode. We didn't do anything overly special this time. We didn't do anything for 150 either, but either way. Since it's 200, do I go with a easy banger that's going to be on this list eventually, a meme, or an underrated good game? I'll let you guys pick, because I have one for all three. Episode 200.
You actually came prepared for once.
I did. Although I was doing some research over here for the underrated one because I had one in mind and I'm like, wait, no, hold on. Let me look up another one real quick.
Well, I mean, I'm always going to go for underrated because that's my sort of...
I got meme, I got underrated, and I got actual banger. That's going to be here eventually.
Is your actual banger like a mainstream game?
Yes, it is.
I would go for underrated. I try to save like actual like well-known bangers or like really good games for when I got nothing.
Okay, that's fair. That's
what I do too.
Because I think I prefer Game of the Week being like...
Shout out to titles people may not be as well aware of.
And my underrated one is definitely one of them. I'll tell you that. Because this is a game that I remember playing as a kid and just having a lot of fun with. But for reference, the two games that you passed on, because they'll be on the list eventually, was just Red Dead Redemption 2. And my meme, because I've been in the mood recently because of the thing I went to.
You haven't shouted Red Dead 2 yet?
No, we haven't shouted out many
really
mainstreams.
done big games.
Okay.
I think still the biggest game we've done is probably still me doing Persona 4 Golden. That episode that has popped in when I wasn't going to be here.
Yeah, I think
that might still be the biggest game we've done.
I think the biggest one I've done is Tales of Cilia.
Yeah.
I mean, mine was Kiwami.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, so I mean, we haven't done. So Red Dead would have been the biggest one, but my meme one would have been Sonic 06. So just for the record. All right. So Gamestetic Game of the Week for episode 200. We're gonna go with an underrated game that I don't feel like a lot of people's heard of or played from the PlayStation era. I know you've heard of it for sure because I think you and I have talked about it. And that I don't know if you've heard of it, John, but that is Threads of Fate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from Square specifically, not Square Enix. Square. A game featuring two different protagonists. I did just look up their names, confirm the boy being Rue and the girl being Mint. And throughout the game, you have to go through all the different dungeons as the two characters, the different puzzles that each of their abilities can essentially change the way that you play the game. With like Rue, as he defeats monsters, is able to like kind of collect like their like spirit essentially, something like that, and become the monsters is kind of his play style throughout the game, as well as his giant ass axe that he carries, big fuck you axe. While Mint has like a couple of rings that she uses for combat, as well as like elemental like magic spells and stuff. It was just a game that I definitely did not beat as a kid because I was a dumb little kid and did not know how to beat it. But it was a game that I remember renting from Hastings and having so much fun every single time I got to play it. And it's still a game to this day that I would love to have part of my collection and maybe try to actually beat it one day. It was one of the first action, like adventure, like RPG games that I probably played that wasn't like Legend of Zelda. You know what I mean? So, it kind of introduced me to that genre as a little kid. So, yeah, it's definitely one to worth at least looking into is Threads of Fate by Square way back in the day. In fact, the exact release date for this thing was back in 99 for Japan and 2000 for North America. So, big shout out to Threads of Fate.